Get an 11% rebate and all Cedar Creek vinyl siding. Complement your home with a new garage door. Menards has the largest selection of in-stock and custom-designed garage doors. This 9x7 garage door is only $399.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, our Washington, D.C. crew is in the UP this week, giving us further insight into how voters up here are feeling about the election. We'll start with Brendan Scanlon, who was in Marquette today. Plus, the husband of Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg stops in Marquette over the weekend to campaign for Harris. And the owner of a UP corn maze is sentenced for shooting his neighbor's dog. We'll have the details. Your 19 News at 6 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 6.
Checking out our plan for the night. Not too bad here. Sky generally partly cloudy for the Marquette region. Temperatures not falling too badly for this time of year. We should be in the 30s and 40s, but we're only going to drop into the mid-50s under partly cloudy skies and a southwesterly wind. And most of Marquette areas in the Upper Peninsula itself will be in the 50s to near 60 degrees for your lows. Rest of the forecast later in the show. Kevin?
Thank you, Tom. Election Day is 2 weeks from tomorrow. Several swing states, including Michigan, are considered a must-win for the presidential candidates. WZMQ Washington, D.C. correspondent Brendan Scanlon is live in the studio with us tonight. Brendan, first of all, welcome to Michigan's Upper Peninsula. And you spoke with some local voters today. What's on their mind ahead of the election?
Hey there, Kevin. Good evening. Great to be here. Great to be in the UP. I did have a chance to speak with several Upers and folks who are visiting the UP to hear what's on their minds. Again, the entire region, as we know, is predominantly Republican. So I spent most of the day here in Marquette, which is essentially an island of blue in the deep red UP. With a population of roughly 67,000, Marquette County is the most populated county in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. The city of Marquette makes up roughly a third of the county's population and leans blue. In 2020, President Joe Biden won the county by more than 4,000 votes. Voters here
I hope we'll get a candidate that is presidential.
Although the economy is a top issue for many Americans, Mike Grossman feels the impacts of high inflation are cooling.
I feel, inflation was bad. I know it affected a lot of people, but the thing is, right now, it's not so bad. It's back down again. Employment's pretty good.
I feel due to book talk and COVID, people have just been wanting to have more of the books in their hands versus doing like Kindle or online reading.
Nicole Odom is a small business owner in downtown Marquette, where she says business has been good.
It's been incredible. We already shot over our sales goal within 2.5 months, I want to say we hit it for the year.
Though undecided in the upcoming election, Odom says there are some issues she places front and center.
I always think of women's rights, equality. I feel like those are, basic human rights for everybody, so those are always high on my list. And then, of course, being able to put food on the table for my kids.
When talking to voters in Marquette, one thing is for certain.
That's the one beautiful thing about the UP. Our neighbors have completely different political views than we do, and it doesn't interfere with our friendship whatsoever. Kevin, both Rachel and I are looking very much forward to making several stops across the UP to hear from new and seasoned voters as well as voters in some more rural areas. So we'll have much more throughout the week during our time here in the UP, Kevin.
All right, Brendan, thank you, and welcome again to the UP. And now heading south, our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp has been visiting with voters in Escanaba today. Rachel, what are you hearing from them?
Hey, good evening, Kevin. So yeah, I've been in Escanaba all day, and I've really met with people all across the political spectrum, from undecided voters to Democrats and of course Republicans. Now, for the most part, Delta County favors Republican candidates. Just as an example, in the 2020 presidential election, about 2/3 of the voters here voted for former President Donald Trump over the third that voted for President Joe Biden. But for the most part, Kevin, voters that I spoke with say they all have a couple things in common when it comes to reasons why they're going to the polls in November, and that's the economy. That that has always been one of the biggest items for reasons why voters go and vote for the candidates that they want to vote for. But of course, Kevin, there are some issues and differences that separate the two. For example, some of the Republican voters I spoke with today say that they are voting for former President Donald Trump because they believe he's going to be tough on things like immigration, while some of the Democratic voters that I spoke with today tell me that they're voting for Vice President Kamala Harris because they believe she's the best candidate for items like health care and safeguarding our democracy.
Trump was trying to overthrow our government. My biggest concern is he's a crook, that he has cheated more people and has screwed more people, and I think he belongs in jail.
The main reason is I see him being attacked by the left so hard that he just seems like the right guy for the job. The Democrats have lied to us multiple times about almost everything. I like that he's going to shut the border down, because we need those jobs to stay here.
So as of this moment, I really don't know who I'm voting for. I feel like with this election, it has been a lot of banter, and I feel like we're almost not misinformed, but not really informed with what their policies are or really how they're going to handle them.
And Kevin, something that we also heard from voters is that, yes, there's a lot of division right now across the United States, but really, for the most part, people here, what they are telling me is that there's a lot of respect, and that there should be a lot of respect when it comes to our elections. And of course, when we discuss some of those different topics with one another, even if we have some different opinions on them. That's what I've been hearing from voters here in Escanaba. But reporting live from Delta County, I'm Rachel Knapp for WZMQ 19 News. Kevin, back to you.
Rachel, thanks very much, and also welcome to you to the UP as well. All right, on Saturday, the husband of the U.S. Transportation Secretary visited the Upper Peninsula to campaign for Kamala Harris. Chasten Buttigieg spoke with canvassers in Houghton, Baraga, and Marquette. A Michigan native, he says the top priorities among UP voters include health care, housing, climate change, and union rights. He encouraged canvassers to have difficult conversations with friends and family members about the issues they believe are crucial in this election.
And I really believe it's down to a campaign of the heart. We have to appeal to our friends and our neighbors and talk to them about what's at stake in our personal lives. Making sure they also know that folks out here are fighting for them. Democrats are out here fighting for them, and we could really use their vote right now.
Buttigieg encouraged canvassers to create a voting plan, whether voting absentee, in person early, or on election day, to ensure their vote will be counted. Today in Delta County, the owner of Hayes Corn Maze appeared in court for shooting his neighbor's dog. According to a police report, David Hayes shot a dog belonging to Garen Heller on March 1st. The bullet went into the dog's rib cage, leading it to later be euthanized. Authorities found a blood trail leading to Hayes' property, where Hayes admitted to shooting the dog and said he thought the weapon was a BB gun. Following a no-contest plea, Hayes received a 12-month delay of sentence with conditions including no communication with Heller, 240 hours of community service, and $1,068 in restitution.
My dog was my hero, my daughter's hero, and there's no amount of punishment that'll ever bring him back. But I feel that with the community and everybody's opinions and thoughts on it, he's going to be permanently sentenced for his actions by the community.
Based on the crime committed and Hayes' lack of criminal record, the judge said the recommended sentencing would be 0 to 3 months in jail. A wildfire burning in a remote area of Baraga County continues this evening as the U.S. Forest Service works to determine a cause. The Summit Lake fire in McCormick Wilderness area, about 12.5 miles north of Michigami, was discovered by aircraft on Friday evening. The Forest Service says the fire reached about 120 acres wide as of today. The most active part is near Evergreen Lake. The Forest Service says the area received light rain over the weekend, but it dried quickly with the warm, dry winds today. Fire crews have been able to slow the spread, and aircraft will be monitoring the fire and assisting ground crews. The U.S. Forest Service asked residents to refrain from flying drones or other unmanned aircraft in the area. WZMQ will continue to update this story as it develops. Your first warning weather forecast is coming up after the break. Plus, Jim Koski is here for Life in the 906. He tells us that there isn't just one UP. Interesting. And later, the former CEO of Starbucks and NMU alum stops by the university. We'll tell you about his visit. We're back in 2 minutes.
John's Auto has been voted the #1 dealer to buy pre-owned vehicle for longer than I've been alive. If you're looking for a vehicle, or if you're looking for someone to help with your current car, or if you need to get yours looking like new again, come see us at John's Auto Sales and Service, Marquette.
Need a Monday night chuckle? CBS is the place.
Papa's house, what's good in your hood? Hey, neighbor.
We've got the neighborhood.
Goosebumps.
And we've got Papa's house.
My house.
A night of comedy legends.
It's true. I am the master.
And they're all on CBS Monday. Get ready to laugh at CBS. A new season of The Neighborhood, followed by Papa's House. CBS tonight, 8/7 Central, and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Done, 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 done. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Donald Trump makes a lot of promises, but we can be sure of one thing. If he wins, he'll ignore all checks that rein in a president's power. It's all in Trump's Project 2025 agenda. What does that mean for you? Higher cost on groceries, cuts to Social Security and Medicare, more tax breaks for billionaires, and a national abortion ban putting women's health at risk. A second Trump term, more unhinged, unstable, and unchecked.
Is your parents' car sounding funny? Do you hear any clunks, rattles, squeaks, or leaks? Tell them to call John's Auto Service Department for fast, friendly, and affordable service. Come see us at John's Auto Sales and Service, Marquette.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by Shunk Furniture.
FlexSteel reclining furniture's on sale now at Shunk. You know, FlexSteel furniture's always been special to me. When my parents started in business 68 years ago, FlexSteel was one of our main lines, and it still is today. FlexSteel is #1 in style, quality, and comfort. At your fingertips, you can recline, adjust your lower lumbar, and your adjustable headrest. In this comfort of this premium leather, you could sit here all day. All the latest styles and features are here on sale now. Shop Shunks of Marquette today.
Now, WZMQ TV19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Tom DeVecchio.
Checking out our headlines for the Upper Peninsula, Marquette area. Nice night overall tonight. Tranquil, not too cold for this time of year. Skies will be partly cloudy overall. We get one more good one for tomorrow. Probably more clouds than today, but at least it will continue to be quite warm for this time of year. Reality does hit on Wednesday as we get back to that chill, dampness, and perhaps some showers as well, again, toward the middle of the week. But hey, still good to view some of the colors here, even though parts of the Upper Peninsula, west side and east near Mackinac City are past peak. They're still looking good, and a lot of peak colors still here in the middle. So go check it out here today. A great day to head on out. Check out some of those beautiful fall colors. Just enough wind to maybe blow it around a little bit and maybe make some pretty good pictures as well. Now for tonight, southwest flow wants to set off. Futurecast wants to set off a few showers late tonight. Maybe we'll get a couple of drops here. We won't put in the forecast, but perhaps a couple drops on your car if you left it out from last night. Otherwise, tomorrow looks pretty good. The clouds do thicken up late in the day, and that will still keep our temperatures on the warm side. As we head on toward tonight, or actually Tuesday night, here's the dividing line. Here's the change. The front just getting into Ironwood by the evening, quickly moving across the Upper Peninsula and out by well before daybreak tomorrow. Then those instability scattered showers come in behind it. Much chillier air comes in as well for Wednesday. And we're back to that typical October chill that we know so well. But not tonight. Look at this. Lots of 50s, near 60 degrees for your lows. Partly cloudy skies expected for the balance of tonight. Not too shabby there. And then into tomorrow, partly cloudy. And you can see still pretty mild. Most of you at least in the upper 60s, maybe near 70 for downtown Marquette. Eagle Harbor at 70, Ironwood 71. Again, looking pretty good for this time of year with the clouds probably becoming overcast by late in the day. Here's the rest of the 7-day outlook. Here's the change for Wednesday. Mostly cloudy skies. We'll include the chance of a few showers here, but nothing big time, probably in the morning. Temperatures will be in the upper 40s. We do rebound a little more nicely than the last cold hit, which really hung around for 3 solid days. Still chilly, but not bad. Clouds should give way to a little more sunshine as we head on toward Friday, mid-50s here. For the upcoming weekend, though, that chill still hangs on. Partly cloudy, no major rain. A little bit of a rebound, though, as we head into the beginning of next week.
Thanks, Tom. And coming up next, we're joined by the Peter White Public Library to hear about some spooktacular events. That conversation's in 2 minutes.
Well, that was interesting.
You know, every family has that weird, crazy uncle. Apparently for the UP, it's our own Carl Bonac.
You hear him say vaccines are the same thing as Nazi experiments?
Or how he thinks that climate change is just all a big hoax.
Well, Carl has been spreading those stolen election lies for a while now.
Why was he trying to get you to take horse dewormer?
We definitely shouldn't send Carl to Lansing.
Carl's conspiracies can't help UP families.
In Michigan, we know what a functioning border looks like. But no one's proud of what's happening at our southern border, and everyone in Washington's to blame. I'm Melissa Slotkin. I've spent my life protecting the homeland. That's why I've introduced more border security legislation than any congressman from Michigan, including a new law giving the Border Patrol more resources to crack down on cartels, because it's their fentanyl poisoning our communities. I approve this message because every country deserves to know who and what is coming across its borders.
Sleep better with a new mattress from Kirkish Furniture. We proudly feature Made in the Midwest Restonic mattresses. Try one out today and compare other major brands. Let our sleep specialists help you find the bed of your dreams at Kirkish Furniture.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Donald Trump makes a lot of promises, but we can be sure of one thing. If he wins, he'll ignore all checks that rein in a president's power. It's all in Trump's Project 2025 agenda. What does that mean for you? Higher cost on groceries, cuts to Social Security and Medicare, more tax breaks for billionaires, and a national abortion ban putting women's health at risk. A second Trump term, more unhinged, unstable, and unchecked.
You're watching WZMQ 19 News, live and local, with Kevin Hodge.
Welcome back, everyone. Halloween is about 10 days away, and Marquette's Peter White Public Library has a number of activities that the whole family can enjoy. And joining us tonight is the library's communication coordinator, aka the Library Hype Girl, Andrea March. Andrea, welcome back.
It's good to see you, Kevin. It's been a long time.
Yeah, good to see you too. What do you got for us today?
Okay, so we have events for all ages and stages. We're going to start off with Wednesday. This Wednesday, a great way to kick off Halloween. It's October 23rd.
Also a scary day. Well, you made it sound scary.
Wednesday. Our youth service department, they're having a family Halloween craft night. And it's from 5:30 to 7:30 in the community room, and they're going to be making spooky ghosts in a jar.
Oh, that does sound scary.
Yeah. So what's more spooky than having a decoration in your household that you and your family made together?
That sounds like a nice thing, actually. I don't know if I call it spooky.
Well, it's a nice thing. So yeah, we welcome families to come in with their children and help make this craft together. So not only are you taking something home, but you're also having a family experience with it. Rolling to the next day, Thursday, October 24th, we are having local author Jeff Van de Zandy come in and read from his graphic horror, The Dance of the Rotten Sticks.
Ooh,
So this is his first time that he's tackled a graphic horror, but he says it's not too scary, it's more like a thriller suspense.
Gotcha.
Yeah, are you a fan of Stephen King?
Yeah, a little bit.
Great,
Yeah.
you should stop by on
Some good
Thursday.
stuff.
Yeah, so that's starting at 6:30 from 7:30, and that's going to be in the Shirus room.
All right.
Can we keep this ball rolling?
Keep it rolling.
All right. I don't know if you know this, but Ghostbusters, the movie, is turning 40 this year.
Oh, okay. That's classic.
It is a cult classic, so we'll be showing that in the community room at noon on Friday.
Gotcha.
40 years old.
Did you like the second one? A lot of people give hate to the second one.
I did like the second one.
I did too.
Yeah.
Actually, it was the first one I ever watched. I thought it was pretty good.
Wow, so you have a very feminine experience with it.
I do?
Yeah, right? The second one? No, I'm thinking of the second series.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
excuse
gotcha.
me. I'm
Gotcha.
glad I fact-checked myself. No, the second one was great too.
Gotcha.
Anything in that franchise. Do I have time for one more event?
Yes, please, please.
Okay, so October 30th, you may know it as the night before Halloween. And so back to youth service, they're having 'Twas the Night Before Halloween story time.
All right.
Families are encouraged to bring their costumes, get ready for Halloween songs, stories, and some games, and make sure you bring a little sack for trick-or-treating because there's always an opportunity for candy.
For sure. You at home can bring one. I think I'm too old. I think I'm past enough, actually.
No, you're never too old for candy or costumes.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. I think we have time for one more, Andrew.
One more. Winter Wonderland Walk registration is now open. I know we're all about Halloween, but Christmas is going to be here in a second.
For sure.
I mean, this was the quickest year of my life. I don't know about you. So I encourage community members and patrons to go to our website, pwpl.info, and register their organization, their family, their group, their book group for a Winter Wonderland Walk tree so we can make this year outstanding.
Excellent. Sounds fantastic, Andrea. Always so fun having you on.
It's a
today.
blast.
Thanks so much.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween to you, Andrea. And still to come on your 19 News, Jim Koski is up next with your Life in the 906, and we'll tell you about that visit from NMU alum and former Starbucks CEO. We'll be right back.
You already know Jen Hill voted with Democrats 99% of the time. But did you know Hill was the deciding vote to raid the teachers' pension fund? Worse, Hill voted to cut school safety and mental health funding 92%. Lansing liberal Jen Hill, putting politics over Peninsula. The better choice?
Carl Bonak. Carl Bonak has a plan to fight inflation, reduce our cost of living, and keep our schools safe and fully funded. Carl Bonak, putting Peninsula over politics.
NCIS!
You done, bro?
New CBS Tonight.
Special Agent Roy Jethro Gibbs.
Grab your gear
We go where the evidence takes us.
Keep digging.
We got less than 24 hours.
For NCIS and NCIS Origins.
We're gonna get the guy who did this.
An all-new NCIS and NCIS Origins. CBS Tonight, starting 9/8 Central and streaming on Paramount+.
When I was 5, I began getting sexually abused by my stepfather, and he got me pregnant when I was 12. "64,000 pregnancies from rape have occurred in states with total abortion bans. And Trump did this. Women and girls need to have choices. With Kamala Harris, we do."
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
On the Jennifer Hudson Show, we've got the very funny Lamorne Morris. I love him! Plus, a family filled with purpose. What a dream team! Then, it's a battle of the ages. Because Granny killed it! And on my next show, do not miss Morgan Freeman.
The Jennifer Hudson Show, tomorrow at 5 on WZMQ TV CBS, followed by 19 News at 6.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's check in with Jim Koski for Life in the 906. And Jim, here you are again educating me. You're saying that there are two different UPs.
Yes, I am, Kevin, and consider this another one of your lessons on how to become a Youper. Now, this will come as no surprise to anyone who thinks that Youpers are all alike. Tourists, I'm looking at you. But there are actually some pretty big differences between us, and that is readily apparent in an election season. If you don't believe me, take a look at this map of UP voting patterns. And if you don't believe the map, let me give you a couple of examples that prove just how politically different parts of the UP can be. I went running Saturday morning in Marquette, and while this is by no means a scientific survey, I saw 31 yard signs for one presidential candidate and none for the other. Meanwhile, last week in Iron Mountain, people were lining up to take pictures of a 30-foot tall smokestack with the other candidate's name on it. We all live on one peninsula, but we're certainly not alike. Political divisions are always going to be with us, especially in these hyper-polarized times. And that's why I think, hopefully not in a naive way, that maybe we should remember the things we have in common. We all love nature. We may play in it differently. You may zip around on a four-wheeler. I might prefer a camera. But we all want to make sure that it's protected for generations to come. We're not all the same, but we do share that common element of sisu. Maybe it's in the air we breathe. Maybe it's because of our 8 months of winter. But we find a way to get through things. We may not agree on which candidate is best, but I think we all agree that downstate tourists can be a pain in the butt. We come together when one of our sports teams makes it to Ford Field or the Breslin Center. They're no longer just a team from a UP town. Instead, they become the UP's team. We can also all agree that pasties are good, Bigfoot may or may not be real, and that despite what they say locally, there really is no R in Ishpeming. So while for the next 15 days it may seem as if we can agree on nothing, just remember that we all have one very important thing in common. We're all Upers. I'm Jim Koski, and that's another slice of life in the 906.
All right, Jim, thanks again for another lesson. How do you think I'm coming along, by the way, in terms of becoming a Uper?
Are we grading on a curve?
Yes.
Okay, then you're doing really well, Kevin. You're like at least a C+.
A C+? Well, my mom would be disappointed in that, let me tell you. But I will take a C+.
Okay, for her, we'll knock it up to a B-.
Okay, that's good enough. That's good enough. I won't have my Xbox taken away. All right, Jim, thank you very much. And don't forget to join Jim weekday afternoons on Q107 WMQT. And next up, former Starbucks CEO and Northern Michigan University alumni Howard Schultz spoke to a group of students, alumni, and faculty today in a fireside chat. The 1975 graduate was on campus as part of an external strategy meeting to assist NMU in its long-term strategic plans. The chat was moderated by University President Brock Tessman, who took questions from students in attendance. Schultz reminisced about his time at Northern, his success with Starbucks, and his business philosophies. A common theme throughout the event was the changing face of marketing.
Makes a lot of sense. This is
traditional marketing with advertising or billboards or PR is not going to work anymore. You have to find a different way. And then going back to Starbucks, there's no better way to build a brand, and it sounds old-fashioned, that is word of mouth. And many people...
Schultz, originally from New York City, attended NMU on a football scholarship. We will have more on his visit to Marquette tonight on WZMQ 19 News at 11. And still to come, Tom DeVecchio has your final look at weather. We'll be right back.
You already know Jen Hill voted with Democrats 99% of the time. But did you know Hill was the deciding vote to raid the teachers' pension fund? Worse, Hill voted to cut school safety and mental health funding 92%. Lansing liberal Jen Hill, putting politics over Peninsula. The better choice?
Carl Bonak. Carl Bonak has a plan to fight inflation, reduce our cost of living, and keep our schools safe and fully funded. Carl Bonak, putting Peninsula over politics.
Mr. Mattress here, we're closing out Serta floor models at big discounts below cost. Shop Shunks today.
These hands create. All of the materials I work with dry out my hands. If my hands get really dry, I can't do my job. I depend on O'Keeffe's.
It's America's #1 selling hand cream for guaranteed relief.
If it works for these hands, it'll work for yours.
Also available in O'Keeffe's for healthy feet.
With Reynolds Wrap, cooking becomes so easy, you can feel like the chef of your kitchen. Easy prep, easy cook, easy clean. Reynolds Wrap.
When I was 5, I began getting sexually abused by my stepfather, and he got me pregnant when I was 12. "64,000 pregnancies from rape have occurred in states with total abortion bans. And Trump did this. Women and girls need to have choices. With Kamala Harris, we do.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Pure Outdoor is the first program dedicated to increasingly popular outdoor and eco sports. Individual and adventurous. Journey to the world's most exotic, breathtaking locations. Pure outdoor.
Final look at the forecast. Partly cloudy for tonight here for the Marquette area. Lows will be dropping into the 50s, maybe near 60 along the lake front, and not bad for October on a light southwesterly wind. And maybe a drop or two of rain late. Other than that, we're going to have some decent weather for Tuesday. One more warm one before we get the chill on Wednesday. Can't rule out a few showers there as well. Bit of a rebound, though, as we head toward Thursday and into Friday. Kevin, back to you.
Thanks, Tom. And coming up later tonight, we'll tell you about a cheese roll that took place on Marquette Mountain over the weekend. That and more coming up at 11. We'll see you then.